Hi, this is Lucky Balaraman from TMG. I thought I might share something with you that I came across the other day. It's quite interesting. It has to do with 3D rendering. For those of you who are not familiar with the term, rendering is when you create a 3D scene in your computer full of 3D objects, but they do not have any light shining on them, and they just look flat gray. They have no surfaces on them. My skin and the shirt and my hair would just look gray. So what you do is you create a 3D scene, and then you tell the computer what surface finish you want on every object. You also tell the computer how you want light to play on the entire scene. Then you tell the computer, okay, now render it. So what the computer will do is it will stick the surfaces that you specified on the various objects and shine the lights that you specified on the various objects, and then create shadows and reflections. And if you use high quality rendering software, the result will be just like a photograph. Very often you won't be able to tell that this is an image that has been created by a computer. The thing about rendering is very often it takes a long time. For instance, when we try to render a room full of furniture, it takes 5 hours just to create one image. 5 hours. Now, supposing we wanted to create a 10-second animation. Animation is usually created at the rate of 24 images per second. Only then you won't see flicker. All right, so a 10-second animation would need 240 images. 240 images, each image is 5 hours, takes 5 hours to generate. So that's 240 into 5, 1,200 hours is what it would take to render the images required for a 10-second video. That's 50 days. 50 days for a 10-second video. You can't be in business, you can't meet any deadlines if that's the kind of time you take. So what professional rendering companies do is to have many computers. They have many computers. That's called a render farm. They have many computers, and each computer has got one instance of the rendering software in it. And that software is expensive. It can cost anything between $5,000 and $10,000, $15,000 a pop. So they'll have 10 computers. So instead of taking 50 days, it'll take 5 days. Okay, so that's if you have 10 computers. Well, now what's happening is a rendering service is being offered in the cloud. What is the cloud? There are different definitions for what the cloud is. So I'll just choose the one which I think is going to be the most popular choice as the technology evolves. The cloud is basically all the computers all the servers on the internet are collectively known as the cloud. So one particular group of those computers is going to do rendering for clients sitting at their desktops here and there. Supposing you have designed your 3D room, you go to the cloud, to this portion of the cloud, and you tell that portion of the cloud, okay, these are the lights I want shining on my 3D scene, and these are the surface textures that I want on my 3D scene. Now render it. The thing about the cloud is the groups of computers are enormous. They're in thousands, sometimes hundreds of thousands. So they all share the work of rendering. For instance, supposing each computer rendered one frame. I said you'd need, what was that? 24 into 10, 240 frames. 240 computers would automatically be pulled in, and they would render your 240 frames. So the rendering time would be the rendering time for one frame, which is basically 5 hours. So instead of taking 50 days or 5 days, you would get your animation back in 5 hours. That's the basic principle. And I have not heard of rendering being done in the cloud so far. It's just yesterday that I came across this Factoid, and the service is going to be available from the end of November 2009. It's being offered by a company called NVIDIA. NVIDIA already knows a lot about the rendering business. So they are the company that make the graphics cards that go into computers. They make a range of graphics cards, with some of them very, very high powered, and some of them medium powered. So they make those cards. So they are people who know what they're doing, I expect. And if you want to know about them, about this service, cloud rendering service, go to the NVIDIA website and look at it over there. I just thought I would share this with you. So thank you for listening, and every time I come across an interesting techno factoid like this, I'm going to post it on this blog. Have a nice day. Bye.